Hello, our lesson today is about the microscope. This is part 1 video. In this lesson and at the end of this lesson, you will be able to recognize the parts of a microscope and their functions, infer that the microscope is used to see very small things that cannot be seen by our naked eyes. Let's start. At the beginning, let's remember what we took before. We studied before that all living things, either they are plants, animal, or human, they are made up of cells. Because all living things, they are made up of cells, that means cells are the building blocks of life. Building blocks, it means that they build our body so that we are alive. Cells, they are so tiny so that we cannot see them by our eyes. Now, how can you see tiny things? All of these pictures, they are pictures for cells. Okay, these cells, they are so tiny. And even they are around us as bacteria or sometimes as small living things that live, for example, in water. While we are swimming, we cannot see them because they are so tiny. طب how we can see these tiny things? First of all, some tiny living things, they can be seen using a magnifier. This is the picture of a magnifier. المكبر يعني. طيب نحن هول living things أو even things, we cannot see them by our eyes because they are so small. هلا نحن we can see them by our eyes but they are too small, so we cannot see them clearly, we cannot see them in details. So to see them clearly and in details, we use this tool, which is called magnifier. Magnifiers, why do we use them? We use them because they enlarge very small things. So نحن بنستعمله ليكبروا الأشياء الصغيرة and make them look bigger. This is the purpose of using these magnifiers اللي هن العدسات المكبرة أو يلي simply اسمهم المكبر. So what we can see with these magnifiers, we can use a magnifier to see an ant, for example. The ant here, very small. Okay, I can see that we have an ant moving on the floor, but I cannot see it in very a clear way or in details. So to see it bigger and, for example, to study it, I have to use a magnifier. Also, sometimes we cannot see small words. So we can use a magnifier, they will be bigger and we can read them. This is for the things that are small, so we cannot see them clearly. But how about the things that are too tiny and they are very small? Even if we use a magnifier, we cannot see them. So other living things or other things, they are very small and they cannot be seen even we use a magnifier. These tiny things, they are seen, I have a way to see them, and they can be seen by a scientific instrument or apparatus. This instrument or tool or apparatus, or you can say machine, اللي هي آلة, we called it the microscope. This is the picture of a microscope. So this instrument, the one that you see it, we call it a microscope. So this instrument, this machine, we can use it to see the tiny things. But what are these tiny things? For example, they can be a bacteria. I can use a microscope to see a bacteria. I can use a microscope to see, for example, my blood cells. I want to study my blood cells. I can use the microscope to see my bone cells, the cells that are in the bone. يلي هن الخلايا اللي بقلب العظم. So all of these cells, because I cannot see them by my eyes, I can use this instrument, this machine to see them. But let's move. Now, this microscope, as you can see, it has many parts. All of these names, they are the names of the parts of the microscope. Let's see. What is a microscope? Microscope is an optical apparatus. Optical, it's related to eyes, so that I look through it. Apparatus, it means machine. It's made up of several lenses اللي هو بقلبه فيه عدسات. That's why it's optical. Why do I use a microscope? It allows us, it helps us بيساعدنا to observe the very, very, very small objects that cannot be seen by the naked eye. Naked eye, it means directly. يعني if I want to see, for example, my cells أو a bacteria that is around me by my eyes, I cannot see it. So how does a microscope work? It magnifies the tiny things. Magnifies, it means that it makes them to be bigger. بكبرهم so that I can see them. Let's continue. This is a microscope. Let's now study every part of a microscope. First of all, we have the eyepiece. Let's see, this is the eyepiece here. With some microscopes, they are with two eyepieces, and others they are with one. So this eyepiece, from its name, eyepiece, so it's related to our eyes. That means it corresponds to the eyes. يعني we put our eyes on it and we can see through. This is for the eyepiece. Second part, we have the tube. This is the tube. This long part, this is the tube. And the function of this tube, why do I have this tube? To hold the eyepiece. أنا بدي محل أحط eyepiece بقلبه. So this place will be called tube. Okay? Let's continue. We have the base. من اسمه القاعدة. The base, it carries all the parts of the microscope. So this whole white part, this we call it the base. The base, it carries all the parts. كل البارتس تبعت الميكروسكوب, they sit on it. So it looks like a chair. So the base is the chair of the microscope. It carries all the parts of it. We have the stage. This is the stage, this black one, all of it. The stage where we put the slide carrying the object to be seen. طبعا انتوا you know that if I want to study a bacteria, I will not carry the bacteria and I will put it directly here. I have a small glass. This is صغيرة. نحن we call it slide. This slide we will put on the bacteria أو the cell to be studied يلي أنا بدي أشوفه أو يلي أنا بدي أدرسه. And so that this slide, طبعا it must be transparent so that the light can pass through it and I can see the cell أو the bacteria أو the object that I want to see. So الستيج هون مثل ما مثلا actors الممثلين when they want to make a play, they go to the stage and they start to act. ببلشوا يمثلوا على المسرح. نفس الشيء هون. The stage where the object is placed and all the eyes will look at it. Okay? Let's continue. We still with the parts of the microscope, and this time we are with the fine adjustment knob. This is the fine adjustment knob. The fine adjustment knob, it focuses the image of the object, this one. Okay, so fine adjustment من اسمه. Adjustment, it means it controls the image of the object so that if I turn it left or right, the objective here, they will move, and so it helps me to focus on the object that I want to see, and so I will see it more clearly. Okay? The fine adjustment knob, this is the one that allows me to see the object more clearly. Then we have the next part, we have the lamp. This is the lamp. So here I have a lamp. It gives light. It goes up to the stage so that I can see the object. Okay, so light source, it's the lamp that help me to see the object clearly. Then we have the objectives. These are the lenses of the microscope هول هن العدسات that magnify the image of the object. So we call them objectives. Remember, I'll pay attention, they are called objectives that correspond النيم اسمه يعني it corresponds to the object عشان هيك سميناه الobjectives لأنه هو related to the object هو اللي حيخليني أشوف الأوبجكت اللي أنا بدي إياه. Then we have the course adjustment knob, this one. This knob, this is the course adjustment. If I turn it left or right, it will make the stage to move up or down. يعني it will make the picture of the object to be more close or far. It depends on the objective. Then finally, and the last part of the microscope is the revolving nose piece. This one, it looks like a wheel. Revolving nose piece, it holds the objectives. كل هول objectives أنا I want place to put them. بدي محل أحطهم عليه. So this place أو this part we call it revolving nose piece. So all of these, they are the parts of the microscope. I will repeat them quickly. We have the eyepiece, we have the body tube, revolving nose piece, we have the objective, we have the stage, the coarse adjustment knob, the fine adjustment knob, the light source, which is a lamp, and finally, we have the base of the microscope. If you like this video and you find it helpful, please don't hesitate and subscribe and like my video. Thank you.